You are listening to Any Given Sunday, a part of the Dead End Podcast Network. Please subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and all other podcasting services. Please make sure you check out Dead End Hip Hop, Dead End Sports, Dead End Gaming, Is the Mic Still On, Chris Platt's Strictly Hip Hop and Hoops Talk, and a host of other shows on our podcast network. Thank you for listening and enjoy the show. For Sunday, May 12, 2019, this is Any Given Sunday. I'm your host, Manny Brown. What's up, everybody? Hopefully you guys had a happy, safe, blessed work week. Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there. Hopefully you guys enjoy your day. My guests this week are the hosts of the very popular Oversaturated podcast, two guys that I've been following for a while now. Been wanted to have on the show, both of them, do a little bit of a combo show between my show and their show. Been a huge fan of these guys for a while, and just wanted to get them on the show for the first time, and was finally able to get him on this weekend, and let's do it. Ralph Johnnie, what's good? Welcome to Any Given Sunday, yo.
Man, what's good, man? You called me by my government. I appreciate it, though.
Raphael, yeah, that's what I do, man. I call people by their government. I hope y'all ain't got warrants or nothing.
Right. No, we all good.
Oh, yeah, we good. We clean over here. We clean. We good. We got no warrants or nothing out here, man. My bad.
No, we straight. But no, man, thank you for having us on, Manny, man. I appreciate it for real. Like, we do.
Definitely, man. We out here, man. Oversaturated the podcast. St. Louis, we in the building. It was good.
Yeah, man. I've been wanting to have y'all on the show for a while. I've been a fan of y'all's for a while. We kind of linked up on Twitter, and I liked what y'all had to say. I liked y'all podcast, so I like connecting with good people and people that do the same, that are on the same movement as I'm on. So, it was natural. So yeah, man. I'm glad that y'all are on the show.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
No doubt. I kind of want to have you on because it's a different perspective, because I usually have like or sports personalities or something like that. So it's the first time that I actually have, well, not really the first time, but like that I have podcasters on the show, specifically y'all that kind of, what I like about y'all podcasts is that y'all cover a lot of different areas. So y'all are not just let's quote unquote, a music podcast or a pop culture podcast. Y'all kind of do it. I mean, y'all are a pop culture podcast in the sense that y'all talk about pop culture. But y'all, some days y'all can talk about music.
Yeah.
Some days y'all talk about film. Some days it's, y'all mix sports in there. Like y'all talk about everything. So I guess my first question for y'all is like, how do y'all manage to pull it off? Because like for me, I think it's easy. Like it's for me, I talk about sports, and sometimes I veer off into other areas. But how difficult it is for y'all to do the podcast that y'all do on a week-to-week basis, where, the topics may vary. Like, I'm saying, the show is not as, consistent from a week-to-week standpoint. Like mine, I know, like, next week I'm going to have this guest on, so I know I'm pretty much what I'm going to talk about. Mm-hmm. And the following week, et cetera, et cetera. How different is that for you guys? How's the creative process for you guys?
Oh, man. It honestly depends. Like me and Johnny, we've been friends for well over 15 years. So we basically built the show around our conversations and how random those conversations can be. So Oversaturated is kind of a double entendre on how our conversation can be so random. We can talk about so many things, and then the podcast market as a whole, because the podcast market is oversaturated. There's 1,000,001 podcasts. So we were thinking, like, how do we differentiate ourselves from anybody else? So we thought of the name Oversaturated, and it's kind of like the rest is history. But I mean, Johnny can kind of, get into that a little bit more.
Yeah, it's like we try not to be, I guess I'll say, one track minded with our content, because like Ralph said, we do talk about everything. Like the podcast was built around our conversation, our personal conversations, because we talk about random shit all the time. Whenever me and Ralph would get together, whenever we would hang out with our friends, we talk about everything. Music, movies, pop culture. Like, and one day I was just riding, and I thought to myself, we could do a podcast. So I text Ralph, and he was like, shit, let's do it. And we've been doing it for 2 years now. So we here.
Yeah. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. And my next question was kind of what's going to be like the history of the show, how'd y'all get started? So y'all kind of alluded to that. Right then and there. But so like the creative process with y'all, like y'all just flow with it. Like it's just kind of like, yo, I feel like talking about this, and this is what we're gonna talk about. Or do how much planning goes into like each specific episode? As far
it depends. Like when we first initially started out, we had like a set theme for each show. As you know, as people that have grown with us, you've seen like each theme kind of evolve. Like we would say, oh, we're going to talk about, let's just say we talked about the Wayans brothers or the Wayans family in general being one of the biggest entertainment families, period. So we centered our conversation around that. So we talked about movies. We talked about the movies, the shows, the content that family has produced into, the pop culture. So we just kind of went with that. But as time went on, we was like, okay, let's start, mixing it up. Let's do something that's actually going on in the world today, or, let's do a MCU bracket because, we just watched, Infinity War, right, or, Endgame or something like that. So it's always something. It's always like ever changing. It depends on what we're thinking about at the time, but kind of like what's going on in the world at the same time.
Yeah. And we try to we also try to center it around what we know a lot of people would be interested in. So like we do reviews of like Insecure, the show Insecure on HBO, Atlanta.
Those are dope, by the way. I appreciate those. Those are dope.
Thank you
so much. Like, because we are fans of the show. And of course, there are a lot of people in our audience that are fans of the show as well. So they tune in to hear what we think about it. And then of course they chime in if they agree or if they disagree with something. So that feedback is always great. And as far as music, like, there's so many different topics that can be talked about with music. We just try to, break them down into micro pieces. So like, I think episode 3, we talked about the music that we were kind of embarrassed to listen to when we were kids, like when we were growing up.
Yeah.
We were young black males, but we were listening to NSYNC and shit. Like,
right.
but we couldn't tell our friends at school that because we'll get roasted. So
yeah.
So yeah, we try to break it down like that and make it entertaining.
No doubt. And I think that's how I first started listening to y'all. I believe it was an Insecure review actually. That's how I came up because that's how I found y'all podcast initially, and then I was like, oh, okay, this is dope. And I thought y'all solely did just the Insecure reviews, but of course, as I started listening to y'all more and more, I was corrected, obviously, right? Yeah, but it's dope, man. It's dope for real. What's the hardest part of the show? Like, what's the hardest part of doing the podcast?
I think it's kind of like what's next. You know what I'm saying? It's like the continuation of the podcast, because once you're done, it's like, okay, what's next? Because people think once you put out an episode, you're not already working on the episode. Sometimes me and Johnny are 3 or 4 episodes ahead, even though we're working on this one. Like, we can have I don't want to give a game away. We can talk about this, Manny, off air, but just
I get you.
Yeah, I don't want to get that away. That costs. If you're not a podcast, I can't really give you that. But you have to always think ahead. Well, what's going on in this? What's going on here? What's going on here? So we start to center episodes, or we have ideas that we want to kind of like pinpoint. Oh, we want to drop this episode here. That type of stuff. So I think it's just the fact that you're always on. Your mind never really shuts down when it comes to podcasting. You're always thinking of what to do next.
Right.
Absolutely.
And even taking that further, like outside of podcasting, right? Because I feel like after doing podcasting for 2 years, we pretty much have a flow of things. We when we have a topic, if we want a guest on, we pretty much have an idea of the guest we want to have for particular topics. So outside of podcasting, it's like, what's next? Like, we just had a live show a week ago, which was great. Shout out to everybody that came out. But it's like, we want to do more. We're thinking about doing more events, like on top of the podcasting, because podcasting is fun, but we don't want it to become like the only medium that we have to get to people, because at some point that'll get boring if we're only just doing the one thing, So figuring out new ways to reach people is where we are right now, which is kind of been difficult.
And I think and as a podcaster myself, I totally can relate, obviously. And I think the hardest part that I think people don't understand is just all the additional things. Because I think even my friends, like a lot of times people think that it's just, oh, you put out an episode and that's it. Like, no, you got to promote it. You got to, you spend more time promoting it and advertising it and getting into the right places and just, sharing and retweeting and all that stuff. Yeah. But that's an extension of this shit too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, people understand, like, it's like, you can put a podcast out there, but it's like, you got to do the extra promoting. You got to put it out there, put it to the masses out there. So I think that's another part of this that's hard sometimes, because it's like, damn, That's like the easy part is honestly recording. Like the easy part is just turning the mic on and just talking.
Right.
Yeah. But the editing, the promoting, with all the infrastructure stuff behind the scenes is the hard part. So.
Yeah, and as Manny would know, you got to get in people DMs sometimes. You got to like. I know you saw this on the feed, but here you go. I'm gonna slide this to you directly. Like, check it out. Hey, man. And it's weird because like I follow Manny on multiple social media platforms. We're on Facebook together and we're on Twitter.
Right.
You know the differences. Like, like. We can be on Twitter and that like our feed and our links and our, promo stuff can go so far. But when you're on Facebook, it's like, who saw this? Yeah. Manny likes my likes my podcast stuff on Facebook, but I don't know about the other, friends that I have.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
The other 1,000 people don't like this shit on
exactly
on Facebook.
And y'all know, like, it be people on social media that follow you and shit, but they never interact with you like a month, like at all. Like, nigga, why are you here? Like, what is this? Like, what are we doing? Like,
exactly.
Like, you would have like 1,000 friends, right? Like, only 200 of them that you actually interact with. Forget the ones that you actually know, but people that actually interact with you, like that, either share your shit or like your shit or whatever. And they'd be like the other 800, like, what? Why are y'all even? Whatever. I don't know. It must be the Russian bots. It must be the Russian bots, man. That's my conspiracy theory right there. They're watching us, man.
Yeah,
they're watching. So, matter of fact, I should just edit out the part where I mentioned y'all government names. You know what I mean? Russian bots is listening as we speak.
It's fine. They ain't gonna find number podcast stuff, so it's okay.
Right.
Do what you gotta do.
That's a fact. And a few random quotes here and there. That's it.
Right.
Word. No, but for real though, like it's crazy because it's like social media, like your shit can get lost in the feed, man. Like you post something at 12:30, by 12:35, there's like what 1,000 other things that have happened just on Twitter alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's easy to get lost in that atmosphere, man.
And that's what people tend to forget. Like when you're creative, you have to start thinking outside the box.
Yeah. Oh,
where should I post this? And you know what? Some stuff I would not post because I'm like, you know what? It's gonna get lost in something. Like if it's like let's say I wanted to drop a episode around the time Nipsey Hussle died. Do you think anybody really cared?
Nope.
Yeah.
Not unless you were actually talking about Nipsey. But even then, you wouldn't even get as many people as you normally would. It's crazy.
So, and that was something on a bigger scale. So imagine something that's a microcosm. Like if a local celebrity or someone dies that's near and dear to us, like I'll give you a case in point. Let me say this. Rest in peace to Jalen McKenzie. I know Manny may know about this and maybe a few of your listeners may know, but he's from East St. Louis, Illinois. He's a 14-year-old football phenom. He was killed after his 8th grade prom. So, he was like the next one up. Everyone was championing this young kid. He was featured in Sports Illustrated, and even Ezekiel Elliott has said that he'll pay for his funeral expenses. So most of our, friends and comrades are from East St. Louis because that's where me and Johnny are originally from. So if we had content or anything to drop that day, we were kind of skeptical about doing it because all the attention was on Jalen, and rightfully so. So, that's the space that kind of creators have to kind of inhabit, It's like you have to be cautious of when you drop your content and your material, because if something's going on where people can like kind of gloss over, you don't want that to happen. And, you don't want to kind of seem insensitive as well either. You don't want to seem like the guy that's only here to drop content.
Right.
Yeah, and as far as
too is like sometimes like, especially like with entertainment, with content in general, like sometimes people are just on it all the time, and then they go through periods where they're not as on it as much. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's just one of those things that fluctuates, man. I think the challenge is just to not take it personal. Like one episode may get 1,000 something listeners or whatever, and the next episode may only get like 600. Yeah. It's not a different. The one that got 600 is probably the better episode, but it just so happens that the last episode, everybody was checking for it or whatever. The next episode happened, then, people on vacation or something else might have happened, or just people just taking a break. Like, yo, sometimes this shit happens. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so many hours in a day. Some people didn't have time to listen to it. You know what I mean? So just understanding that ebbs and the flows to this shit is the crazy part too.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed about people and their social media marketing is like, you know, they'll do their podcast episodes, but when they get on social media, they'll do a lot of like, I guess I'll call it trolling, but they'll ask like certain questions to try to get the timeline riled up.
Right.
And then point them back to the episode. It's like, I see it and I just look and I laugh because I don't have time for that shit. Like, because I don't care. I don't really care.
Yeah, it just seems cheap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, there's better ways to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then it's like, how much time do you really have?
Like, the DMing feels a little bit more personable because you go in there, you introduce yourself, like, hey man, you know, when you have time, can you listen to my shit or whatever? You know, like, it feels a little bit more personal than like starting riling motherfuckers up. Like, yo, you know what I think?
Yeah.
I think James Harden is secretly a woman. What y'all think? Like, oh, and by the way, share and follow my podcast. Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, relax. Like, you gotta relax because that's insane.
Cheap, bro. Like, come on, like, get out of
here. It is. Yeah.
But no, it happens. I mean, hey, man, and in a funny way, I can't really knock it because it's like, yo, man, you gotta get it somehow. You know what I mean? But I don't know, just. Not for me.
Yeah, like you'll never catch me doing this shit. One, because I don't have the time. Two, I don't really care about people's opinions. Like I appreciate the people that rock with us because they share, like they'll share if they agree or disagree, and we can have an honest back and forth, you know, and then we can agree to disagree. But just coming at me with like some crazy shit just because, like, nah, don't do that.
Yeah. Do y'all ever upset the MAGA folks?
You know what? I don't think we have. Like now, this is the thing about our podcast. We haven't really steered on too many politically charged topics. Like, you know, we'll talk about certain things, but I don't know if we really pissed any MAGA people off. I mean, if you listen to us, we're all about the culture, so we're never going to agree with anything that they probably agree with. So
right.
Funny, they find their way into anything, man. Again, it's some Russian bots, bro. Like, it's funny. Like, I've pissed off a couple of MAGA folks. Like, yo, like, I do a sports conversation podcast. Like, what the fuck am I talking about that's even rallying y'all motherfuckers up? Like, shouldn't y'all be worried about some other shit? Like,
yeah.
You with migrant children in cages or some shit. Like, I don't even talk about that. Like,
right.
But see, I feel like they get mad at dumb shit to keep the conversation off the shit that you know that really matters.
True.
Because it's like, why are you getting mad at a sports commentator when you know there are children in cages wrapped in aluminum foil? Like, why would you do that?
Facts. Yeah, they're the master deflection artists, bro. So
that's a fact.
Yes.
Yeah, like you sit here and talk about Steph Curry. See, there's a liberal agenda. What?
What?
Crazy.
Where did
this man's jump shot? Like, I mean, I might have thrown in like a shade comment at Donald Trump, but like you taking one comment and then jumping off the roof.
Oh yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah, they do that, man. So I like to ask that because it's like, you know, have y'all struck a nerve with the MAGA folks? You know what I mean? So,
no, we struck a nerve. I know we struck a nerve with the Shea Butter community on a few times, but you know, never the MAGA folks.
Oh, really? What happened there?
Wait, I was trying to figure out which one you talking about because I can only think of one right now.
Well, I think me and Johnny are probably thinking about the same one, but when I say Shea Butter, I mean that in all due respect. I do, but
Black Queens, that's what we mean.
Yeah, our Black Queens. Like, you know, I think me and Johnny took an excerpt. It was from Pastor John Gray. Yeah. If anybody's familiar with him, he tends to piss off a lot of our Black women a lot. Just with his rhetoric and things that he does. And let's just say me and Johnny agreed with him on one of his stances. Oh man, look.
Listen,
it wasn't bad, but oh man.
Nah, there was one particular person. For me, like I try not to take shit personal, especially like in the podcasting game, but like I felt I kind of felt attacked because it seemed as if she was really like taking everything we said to heart, but not trying to understand it from our standpoint. And I was drawing a lot of parallels between what he was saying in this one particular interview versus what I have going through in my life. And for her to tell me like I was wrong with that shit, nah, like you can't tell me I'm wrong for living my own experience. You feel me?
Right.
And I wasn't even familiar with Pastor John Gray before that interview. So I ain't know shit about him. And I didn't care. So that trick, like that pissed me off. But I just had to take a step back and be like, all right, I'm gonna let her spew whatever the fuck she got to say, but I'm gonna chill out. I was heated. Like I was heated.
And Manny, I know you have this on your particular platform because like I've listened to you plenty of times, and I know you can take a strong stance against, like, say, I know you're a New York head to the core. So it's certain things like, hey, I'm not really rocking with, like
yeah. Like
and everybody has their biases, especially when it comes to teams and sports. So I know you get a lot of comments. I know you do.
Oh, I do. And I just I just believe that, you're not always going to agree with people on every single aspect of life. Like, I may see something totally, like if I rock with y'all, right?
Yeah.
Like we cool, we homies, we hang out, we do what we do, whatever, right? But we're not going to agree on every single topic in everything. Like we're just not. That's not life. Like we're going to disagree on certain things. Like that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. As long as you don't disrespect me, you don't come for me, you don't disrespect me or my family or my religion or like whatever, like we cool. Yeah. We just have disagreements. Like, you see things your way, I see things my way. That's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just life. Like
and you know what's crazy? I think that's what's wrong with like the human race in general. Like
absolutely.
Everybody has their own set of ways, set of thinking, which is cool. But certain people don't respect other people's way of thinking because it's not theirs. And I feel like that's like the overarching issue with humans. But
especially nowadays, it didn't feel like that back in the day. Like it feels like this now. Like we've taken this tribalism shit to the max now. Like where it's like if you're not with me, you against me. And that's
yeah.
And it's like damn, like no, like my brother and I, like we don't agree on a lot of shit. Like we don't agree politically, we don't agree on a lot of shit, but that's still my brother. Like if he called me right now, it's like, yo, I need $200, like boom, I got you. Or yo, I need this, or yo, I'm in trouble. Like that's my brother. Like, we don't agree. We're not gonna have fucking political discussions. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like that's his opinion. I respect him for that. Like I respect him for having his own way of thinking. That's his. I have mine. As long as you respect me and my opinion, I can respect yours and your opinion. But it's just this thing of you have to think my way. It's my way or the highway. If you're not with me, you're against me. Like it's this bullshit that like it's crazy to me. Like for instance, like I've had homies that like, oh, you need to delete these motherfuckers that's Republicans from your friends list. Like what? Why? Because they have a different political view than mine. Like, okay, like they Republicans. As long as you're not out here disrespecting me, calling me a nigga, disrespecting my family, disrespecting my people, like I'm good.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
And nothing's wrong with keeping people around. Maybe if it's just in the social media realm that disagree with you. Like sometimes you need to see a difference of opinion.
Yeah. Exactly. I feel like it's healthy.
It's healthy.
Like,
yeah, it is.
Yeah. It is healthy because it's just a different. It's nothing wrong with having a different perspective. It's nothing wrong. Now, granted, a lot of their perspectives are just fucking totally whack. But that's them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's them. As long as I know what I believe in and I know my truth, like I'm good. Like I don't need self-affirmation. Like, oh, I'm gonna delete this person because he doesn't agree. Like as long as you don't say no racist shit on my shit, like, yo, you're good.
Right.
Yeah. Now if you coming out of pocket with some shit, like, hey,
I might have to. Yeah.
you might have to get the delete button.
Yeah.
You know, but other than that, like, but it's just this mindset, like, oh, if you don't agree with me, if you don't see the world how I see the world, fuck you. Like, damn, like, really? Like, that's how we feel? Like, okay.
Yeah.
And when did it get like that? Like, I feel like there was a turning point at some point, but I just can't pinpoint when it was.
I don't know what it is. Like, and I'm not one of those people that, like, believes that, like, oh, everything has just gotten worse with the advent of social media. No, like I feel like everything was the same without social media. Now social media is just giving it's just a bigger microscope.
Yeah.
Like racism existed before social media.
Yeah.
It's just that,
Facts.
Before social media, you couldn't hide an anonymity. Now you can't. Like now you can be, Blueface 67 and post crazy wild shit on message boards and on Twitter and whatever, and nobody knows who the fuck you are. Like
pretty much.
You could do that shit back in 1990.
Right.
Yeah.
So this idea that like social media has only made things worse, like, nah, it's bullshit. It's highlighted how horrible people can be. I would say that, but it's not me. So I don't know what the turning point is. Like it's crazy to me. Like I think like that too. Like I'd be thinking like, damn, how did this all change? Like how did it get this bad? Like maybe it was social media. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was. Like maybe the internet, man. You know how everybody blames everything on the internet. Right. Yeah, blame everything on the internet.
Yeah, we just blame it on the internet. Yeah.
Just blame it on the internet, man. But it's crazy. But you know what? I've seen that more so with religious folks. Like if you don't believe in what I believe in, like you are wrong. Like you're just a horrible person. Like maybe I just have my own opinions on life.
Yeah.
And that's insane because you would think the religious folks will be the folks who will be the most compassionate or loving,
Thank you.
But no, that's not the case.
Not at all.
Clearly, no, not at all. Not at all. Like if you don't see eye to eye with them on 99.8% of everything, like yo, you just a fucked up person. Like what? How? Like really? So we gonna go there now? Huh? Okay, all right. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, yeah. But it's wild because it's like you never know who you're gonna strike a chord with. Like you never know doing this podcast shit. Like who you're gonna strike a chord with, who you're gonna piss off, and it runs from there. Like I had a little dose of controversy this week with the whole Aisha Curry thing. So I guess I'll transition over there.
Oh, okay.
What was y'all thoughts on the whole Aisha Curry thing? Before I give my thoughts,
Johnny, you want to go first on this one? Or?
Yeah, I'll go first. All right, so I'm gonna keep it real with you. The man in me was like, that's bullshit. Like when I first heard it, I was like, okay, wait, you have pretty much the perfect life, right? Mm. Why would you want attention from other men? That was my initial thought. But as I sat and thought about it more, right, I started to see it from her perspective. Like she's only 30, if I'm not mistaken. So her and Steph have been together pretty much their whole adult lives. She has 3 children with him, and she hasn't really like explored herself, basically, is what I would say. So the fact that she hasn't been getting any attention from anybody except Steph, because I don't think there's a way that they could be married, have 3 children, and he's not showing her attention. There's no way. But the fact that she's not getting it from outside, like I think I get it, is because she's bared 3 children and she hasn't had that opportunity to really explore or express herself the way that she wants to. I'm trying to keep it a little PC here. So I think I get it.
Hey, listen, we don't keep nothing PC here, man. Just, hey, speak your truth, dog. Speak your truth.
What I think I gather from that is that she really just want to be out here, like for real. Like she's done the whole wholesome wife shit, which I would assume has been great for her, but she hasn't had that period to,
Oh God. See now what we're experiencing is the Aisha Curry rebrand right now. Now with Aisha Curry, she has built this brand on being so wholesome, so genuine, so the quiet college girl that transitioned into being the wholesome wife and mother. And the thing is, she's always been out here just spreading, oh, I'm this and I'm that and I'm that and I'm this, and she's always been looked at as a spoiled brat. So in her moment of vulnerability, she's expressing how she feels. And, we're not here to dismiss her, her feelings. It's just the fact that it's coming from her. Now, let's say if Savannah came out and said, Savannah James, LeBron James' wife, came out and said the exact same thing, I think people would be more receptive because Savannah doesn't say shit.
Raph, I'll do you one better. If Beyonce, if the mighty Queen Beyonce had said the exact same shit, dog, no woman would have batted an eye.
They would have been like, "Yes, Queen, you need to get the attention you deserve." Fuck out of here,
bitch. Speak.
But this is the thing: Beyonce sells the wholesome mother and wife image as well as sells sex. So it's like, I get what you're saying, man, but that's me. But my point is like,
but
your point is valid.
The message wasn't the issue. The messenger was the issue.
Yes, exactly. Okay, yes. Now if you go on there, I was just being technical. But yeah, if you want to be that, it's just the messenger. It's like nobody wants to hear that shit from Aisha Curry. Nobody. And who's to say like she's not suffering from postpartum depression? I believe she is.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I believe that. Like she's had 3 kids and she's 30. So it's like all I know is Steph, and nobody really pays attention to me as just being a beautiful, sexy woman. They only identify me as being a wife and a mother.
But the thing, another point to that is she doesn't necessarily present herself as quote unquote sexy. Like we all see the women who promote themselves as sexy on social media, right? We all they wear bikinis and revealing dresses and all that type of shit. Aisha doesn't. Now, I'm not saying she can't be sexy, dressing less revealing. Like she can. Yeah. I feel like you can be sexy and not be revealing. I feel that way.
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
The masses don't feel that way.
No, I think most grown adult people that aren't into superficial shit agree.
Yeah.
Think so? I don't know.
Yeah, I do. I think the majority of people agree. I think you're always gonna have the outliers. You're always gonna have the motherfuckers that that think that are just superficially based, that are into Instagram thoughts and think that that's the only thing women have to offer and like so. I mean, but I think the majority of adults, of forward thinking people, like I don't like women showing their asses all the time.
Right.
Like I'm more attracted to like women that just act normal.
Yeah,
take normal pictures. Like I don't know.
Right, without your ass on the counter. In the bathroom.
Facts. Like I don't need your ass shot picture with a Bible verse in it.
Right.
That's funny, but true. That's very true.
No, but here's my perspective on it. So, like y'all, as a man, I was like, what? What did she just say? Because at first I didn't watch the video.
Yeah,
and I think I think the people that jumped on this shit and ran with it 1,000 miles. Didn't even watch the damn video or the interview.
Yes.
So that's another problem with society now, that we just jump on whatever's trending.
Yeah.
And don't even do the research to actually research like what the person said, the actual interview. We just take the
clickbait
excerpt.
Yeah.
Or exactly. Or the abbreviated version of it and just run with it. Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I did the same exact thing. I did the clickbait thing. I clicked on the article and Aisha said this. What the fuck did she say? Like, what's going on with this woman? So, of course, before I even made, but I always have like women stuff. I always reserve my own judgment, and I try to get the woman perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not qualified enough to have an opinion on that particular topic, right? Depending on what it is, like some shit is like, oh no, hell no, I'm not with that, or that's cool. But so I talked to my wife, right? Talked to the wife. I got her perspective on everything, right? And my wife broke it down to me. She's like, she's not talking about she wants to get hollered at. She's not talking about she missed out on things because she's been wholesome. Her perspective is she's a woman. She wants to know. My wife broke it down to me like, people like to think that women don't have egos. Women have egos. They, in a lot of ways, have bigger egos than men. Because if you think about it, women have been getting hit on basically since they started puberty. So for instance, a girl like my wife happens to be 31. Aisha happens to be the same age, right? Well, 30, 31, right? So essentially, from the ages of 13 to now, or to whenever they first had kids, right? They've been hit on. They've had dick thrown at them every which way for 12, 15 years of their lives. So when something changes, like parenthood, were the trials and the tribulations of going through pregnancy, multiple pregnancies at that. That affects your confidence. That affects your ego. Like you sit there and think like, damn, I've gained some weight. You your own self know like, damn, I've gained some weight. Do I still have the ability to be, do I still feel pretty? Do I still feel like I can be, a catch to someone? Do I still feel like I inspire or I arouse, not just my husband, but just anybody? You know what I mean? Like anybody. And that goes to the insecurities that women face beyond just pregnancy or beyond just whether they're single, married. Like women are just filled with insecurities. Like women have a tough time knowing that they're beautiful. Some don't. Some just from early ages of life, they just like, oh, I'm a bad bitch and I know it. Like, some, but the majority of women struggle with their own insecurities. They do. Like, that's a fact. So I think what she was saying, and I also think the other aspect of this too is that she poorly said what she was trying. Like she was trying to make a better point. She could have illustrated that better. Yeah. I think that was the problem with how she said it. And I think many people ran with it was that she didn't say it the way it should have probably been said. Another person would have probably said that better. But I think, but that's what my wife told me. It's just like a lot of people don't understand it. Women have egos too. We have our own bouts of insecurities and self-confidence issues. And then add that to, you just had 3 kids. Everybody knows you as Steph Curry's wife. Nobody even, so she's not asking for attention in the sense like, oh yeah, everybody just slide in my DMs. Or, oh, I'm tired of being married to this lame ass nigga. I just want to run around the streets and get trains ran on me. Like that's not what she's referring to. She's basically expressing the insecurities that women, especially women in a postpartum stage, deal with. So she showed her vulnerability to the world and people just slandered her for it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to understand where the woman was coming from, they just slandered her. You know what I'm saying? So once my wife broke it down to me,
I never thought about it like that.
Of course, as a man, I don't know anything about that. And it never hit me like, damn, that's crazy. Like, as a woman, you've been getting hit on your whole life. So when you have kids and your body changes and you go through the natural changes of just age and being a parent, being a mother, going through pregnancy, like, damn, that's crazy. Like, think about that shit. Yeah. Like, so it puts a different perspective on that whole thing. So I basically said, like, damn, it's amazing how so many people just missed the whole point of what Aisha Curry was trying to say. Nigga, I got slandered by men, women. Like, oh, I'm a soft ass nigga. Like, blah, 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 blah. This and that. I'm like, really? Like, why? Because I don't prescribe to the macho, oh, fuck that bitch. She's just trying to get fucked by random niggas. Like, no, I don't think
right. It's a deeper thing. Like, people hate the Currys, I think. Like, people, it's either like you're on one end of the spectrum. You either love them or you kind of like, fuck them. Like, I'm tired of them. Like, this wholesome shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of aspects to that. Like I think people hate him because obviously Aisha's presented that wholesomeness to herself. Like, and I think that's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Let's not ignore this. We know this that
is real,
dark skin,
very real,
is real. It is very real. Yeah. So that plays a role into this. I mean, it's just like because my wife even said it. Had Beyonce said the same shit that Aisha Curry said,
I agree. I totally agree. And that's why I made the Savannah James comparison, because I feel like, they, regardless of how you feel, they are still the NBA's first family in my eyes. And I feel like everybody should kind of share that same sentiment until LeBron retires. Now, it's just that Steph has been catapulted because of, I think the obvious. He's light skinned, and that's never an indictment of his talent. I think he's a great basketball player.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, I don't really buy into the whole light skin, dark skin thing as far as like, oh, that's why they mark. Because white people don't think that deep. I don't think. Like, in that shit. Like, I think that's more of black people having that battle within ourselves than like some white media person in LA, like, oh, well, we like Steph because he's lighter skin complexion than
it plays a role. I'm not saying that's all.
I think it does play a role. I'm not trying to seem naive. Like, absolutely, I think it does play into it, but I don't think it's as deep as like what we.
Well, I mean, we can go tit for tat, but I think, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying
as layered. It's not as layered. Like in the mainstream opinion, it's probably not as layered as maybe I'm making it out to seem. But I think it plays a role. Like that's my take. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. You be ignorant to say it doesn't play a role. Absolutely, it plays a role. But I also think there's other aspects of it. I think Steph is more relatable in a lot of ways because he's not this larger than life figure. Like LeBron is 6'9", 260. Like there's a lot of not. Right. So motherfuckers can't relate to this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like this nigga's 6'9", 260. Yes. Like this nigga is a freak of nature. Like Steph Curry is this little 6'3" ass dude that looks like every light-skinned, tall basketball player we've ever known in our lives. Like people can relate to him. Kids can relate to him. Like my son loves Steph Curry. Loves him. Loves this guy. Like, why? Because he just has a certain, like some people just have a certain appeal that others don't. You know what I'm saying? And I think that plays into it. I mean, I'm not a sociologist and studies this kind of shit. So like, I'm sure that somebody with with like 4 more degrees than I have can break this shit down to the core. But back to the whole Aisha thing. It's just crazy how so many people just ran with that. And the thing that like, I'm not surprised the men thought the way that they thought because it's just like men are just men. Like we have one track minds for certain things. Like, so of course the fact that she said that the way she said it, like that was enough for me to say fuck yeah, which is crazy. But like so many women though, like that's the one that blew me away. So she's stupid. She's ignorant. She a dumbass bitch.
But you know what's crazy? The majority of women that had that thought process are either single or have never had a successful relationship. Like I don't think they truly understand what it takes to be in a relationship, let alone a marriage. You know, because that shit it's not easy.
Exactly.
It's not easy.
Like and the dumbest shit. The one default comment that they always say, well, you should only be attractive to your husband. It don't matter what these other niggas or these other men think. You should be attracted to your husband. I'm like, that's dumb. Like that's fucking dumb. Because like okay, being married, like you kind of obligated. You are obligated to feel a certain type of way about me. Like if this shit's gonna work. So your perspective is not always the right perspective because like you're married to me. You married me for a reason. So like sometimes like I don't know, like do you like me because you just really like me? Are you really attracted to me because you're really attracted to me? Or are you just at this point where like, damn, I'm in a union with you, nigga. Like I kind of have to be there at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when random people say, oh, that person's like an attractive person. Like, oh, okay, that woman or that man is attractive. Like, that's different. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different mindset. It's a different perspective. But I think so many women just ran off the fact like, oh, well, what are you doing trying to get attention from random niggas when you married?
I never knew Aisha Curry was this polarizing of a figure.
She is very polarizing. She's very, very polarizing. You know how I think you know how I secretly think.
Fam, I've been saying for years, all women are secretly in a competition with each other, but they will never admit it. They will never admit that.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Never admit it. Never admit it. Never admit it, dog. Never. Like some women absolutely hate each other for no reason. Like, yo, if men hate other men, there's a valid reason behind it. You know what I'm saying? I just get a vibe from that dude. Like, you know what I mean? I don't really rock with him. Like, there's just something about him. Or, oh, man, you know what? I don't like how that dude treated the one dude in the copy machine at work one day. And that shit, like, we have a reason.
They could literally see somebody they never saw before and be like, I don't like her.
Yeah.
In there, I don't like her. I don't like her. She wears too much foundation.
That's a fact. Oh my God, that's a fact.
What? What? Like, what is her makeup or lack of makeup
to do with anything?
To do with you liking the person? Yeah, yeah, man. So, but Aisha, she's very polarizing because she's someone that is, like you said, Johnny. Like she's presented herself as the all-American black girl. She went to college.
No, doesn't she have like cookbooks and shit? Don't she have a cooking show or something?
Yeah, she has a cookbook and she's parlayed herself into.
She's presented herself as like the all-American housewife.
Yes.
And not only has she presented herself as the all-American housewife, she's gone out there and she said like,
she said, yes,
not with all this.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like I'm not, and I think that's why a lot of women jumped on her because she's been the main one. Like, oh, I don't get pressed on this social media shit. Like, I don't like how some women just go on there and post naked pictures of themselves and degrade themselves and blah 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 blah. And then what was the first excuse people say? Oh, you just want niggas to slide in your DMs. So like they felt like, oh, we got this
pretty much
critical.
Oh yeah, they was ready to pounce
us for being social media driven. Yeah, right, ready to pounce. And it's like, oh, she bashed us for being social media driven, but here she is trying to have niggas slide in her DM. Well, no, sweetheart, that's not what she said. But okay,
right, all right,
yeah. I'm with you. Okay. I guess you're going somewhere with that, but that's not what you said. But yeah, man, she's very, very polarizing. Like she is. I think
you definitely know now. Yeah,
right. Definitely know now. Like, yeah, you definitely know now. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, yo, she could literally come out and say, yo, you know what? I hate the fact that there are migrant children in cages. Bitter bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Nah, you're right.
What? Like, what? Yeah, it's crazy to me. But yeah, it was just so amazing how so many people just jumped on that whole like that shit.
But I think people they wait for something to be negative about. Like they're just itching. As soon as something comes out, I'm here. I am. I'm on it. The negative post.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also think I don't think people don't like people presented as so wholesome and so rich. Like they don't like too much positive coverage from people. Like in a weird way, people like when people have like I think that people like people that are polarizing in a lot of ways. Like I think people like people that have issues to them as opposed to someone that's presented as just clean, pure, wholesome. Like, you know
why I think that is because it gives people a chance to not think about their own issues. So if I could see somebody else's issues and talk about them, I don't have to deal with mine for a minute.
Facts. Yeah. No, I agree completely. Absolutely. I think it's definitely that. Yeah. Cause it's like, it's crazy to me how she ain't that perfect. I've literally heard a chick say like, before this whole Aisha thing popped off, like, she thinks she's just so damn wholesome.
Yeah.
Like, why is that a problem? Like, what's the issue with that?
Why is that a problem? Like, what, like, yeah, like, I actually applaud that. Like, I applaud a chick that's like, yo,
I don't subscribe to that. Yeah.
You know, and then, yeah, and you know, they'll bring up the Savannah James thing. Like, oh, well, you never see Savannah James doing
right.
You don't ever see Savannah James doing anything. Like, she's in the background. Like, she doesn't want to be in the forefront. She doesn't want to be. I'm sure Savannah James has some of the same views a lot of ways. Probably. I don't know.
Have you ever heard her voice before?
No.
I have never. I've never heard that woman talk. I'm not even sure she can talk. Like, I don't even know. I don't even know if she has, like, vocals. Like, I've never heard that. I've seen her smile. I've seen her lips move in emotion like she may be talking, but I've never heard her voice. So I wouldn't even know what she sounds like. So that point is lost on me because it's like, A, she never talks. She's perfectly content with being LeBron James's wife and being in the background. Like, and that's cool. I applaud that. I respect that. Like, yo, I don't get pressed on this celebrity thing. Like, I'm just in the background. Like, I'm me. I'm Savannah James. Like, I'm just going to do me, raise my kids, have fun, live my life, support my husband, and that's it. Aisha Curry, she has her own views, and she wants to parlay her own thing into her own career, and I respect that. Like, it's cool. Why knock her? Because she has some false, overly, or some what is perceived as some, like, false, overly wholesomeness about her that most people can't attain to reach. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy to me. But yeah, I pissed off a lot of people with the Aisha Curry. They'll be all right. It's crazy. But what's something in the culture right now that's got y'all feeling some type of way? Like what's one thing that's bothering y'all? It could be anything. Like what's something that's like on y'all minds that y'all want to talk about, that y'all want to vent?
I'm gonna keep it a bug with you. Like, I don't really be giving a fuck about these people. Like, like for real. Like the Aisha shit popped up. I saw a lot of like people still talking about this shit on social media now, and it's like y'all really trying to get away from your own issues. For real, like, still talking about this.
Well, that shit broke on Facebook yesterday, so that's why they still talking about it over there. But I kind of I differ with Johnny's opinion. Like, yeah, I wouldn't say I care, but I think because we're in this realm of podcasting, you kind of have to know what's going on. I mean, you do. Like, it's not like you have to, you can't be oblivious. But sometimes it's just like, now that I didn't care about. I never cared about what IE Security had to say, rather it being about sports, cooking, motherhood, wholesome women. I didn't give two fucks. Like, but somehow we're here. Like somehow we're here.
Right. It's not for us. It's not for us.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Ralph, was you gonna say something?
Oh no.
Go ahead.
So something
go ahead.
that Ralph shared with me not too long ago. Kanye West was talking about like opening a church. And that's hella, like, I personally feel like that's hella trash. Like he went a year and a half talking about make America great again. He felt like Superman wearing a hat and all that bullshit, hugging Trump and all that. Like, and I feel like he's trying to get back in the good graces of the black community with these Sunday services and shit. Now, granted, them shits have been hard, but like, I feel like this is a rollout for him trying to get back good with the black community, and I'm not really with it. Like, I'm not with it.
Honestly, like, why do we even pay attention to Kanye anymore? Like, a matter of fact, when Kanye comes on my screen, I just change. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Like, and it's sad and it hurts me, because anybody that knows me, like really knows me, knows like I fucked with Kanye so hard, yo. Like, late registration to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, like I was with Kanye hard. Like if he was in my city, like I would go to a show. Like first day I'm buying the album. Like before I can use it for young kids. Like first day it dropped. Like I'm in the record. Like I'm in Tower Records or I'm in Best Buy. Like buying the album. Like that's how heavy I fuck with Kanye. And for me to be now, like when he says something, it doesn't even like resonate. Like it's just like. I just changed the channel. Like it's like, why are we still paying him attention? Like, it's just like this dude. The dude lost me when the whole slavery was a choice. Like,
he's on.
I was done.
He's on the other end of that polarizing thing. Like Aisha Curry, like he still inhabits a certain place in pop culture where he says something is gonna get those headlines. But Kanye, I've been off that Kanye train since Jesus. Like I let him go then. And, not to say I still don't tune in and listen to music or, see a little bit of the things that he says, but Jesus was like the drop off for me. So like, I feel like there was 2 chapters with Kanye. I feel like pre-Jesus, before you. I mean, after Jesus. I don't know, like
pre and post.
Right, pretty much. So that's where I got off the Kanye West train. Like, I'm not so emotionally invested in whatever he has going so much anymore.
Yeah, I'm just like I'm like on a music tip, I was done with Kanye, like similar to you. Like I was done. Like musically, like Pablo, it was okay, but still, it's just I still like I don't even think I could honestly have an honest opinion of Life of Pablo because I'm still like Jesus. So like I don't even feel like I ever gave that album a real fair shake because I was just so done with Kanye from Jesus. Because it's like I went through 3 phases of being done with Kanye. Like I was done with Kanye after 808s and Heartbreak. I know that's not a popular opinion for some folks because I know some people that absolutely love that album and completely will cape for that album as being one of the greatest albums ever, right? And so I was done with him after 808s and Heartbreaks. And then he brought me back with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, right? And I was rocking with him, through my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the Throne, and then Yeezus came out. And then I was just like, he lost me again. Lost me. So the music thing, I was kind of done with Kanye after the Yeezus and shit, right? And then, but just done with Kanye in general, like as a whole, the slavery was a choice thing. Like, come on, dude. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't. Like, he didn't even lose me with the MAGA shit because I was just like, okay, like I don't know what he was trying to do here. Like I don't know what your attempt is. Like maybe he just really feels this shit. I don't know. But when you come out on national TV as a black man and say that basically slavery was a choice, nah, bro. Like, I don't think my man who was coming off the slave ship had a choice to be a slave. It was made, or it was either slavery or die. Yeah. Like that was the choice. I mean, you're right. He had a choice. Be a slave or die. Like, I don't think there's any, like, it's not like my man had a choice. Like, you know what? I don't feel like being a slave today. I'm just going to be a stockbroker. Like, nah, that wasn't it. So yeah, he lost me on that one. So I was just like, so now I'm just like, why do we even pay attention to Kanye? Like at this point, like when he says something, like and every now and then some new controversy will happen. Like, oh, Kanye did. It's gotten to the point where I haven't even listened to the Sunday service shit. Like I'll just be like, I don't want to. I have no interest in it. People are telling me,
I'm all right.
I'm just like, I'm good. I'm just like, nah. I haven't bought the sneakers, even though I never really fucked with the sneakers to begin with. But I don't really rock with the sneakers. Like I don't I'm over it. Like Kanye might as well would have died to me. Like he might as well would have passed away back in 2017. Like it's just like, well, he's just there. He's just there. I won't be there.
I do have a pair of Yeezy boots, and they are mad comfortable. I'll just leave it at that. I won't be that guy. Like fuck yeah, but I got these shoes. Like you know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Anything else in music or in film? I mean, I know.
Yeah, I don't know if we got that Endgame. Like that's when we might have to come back. But that's a whole nother.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Let me just ask y'all this on Endgame. Which was the better movie, Infinity War, or Endgame?
Oh, Infinity War. Like that's my go-to answer, mainly because of Thanos actually winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that movie just left you with so much desire, so much to be desired. You know what I'm saying? Even though Endgame was phenomenal.
I feel that.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, it's weird because I kind of look at Infinity War.
Well, yeah, I think technically it is. So they filmed both of those films together. So
I mean, it is. Although the Russo brothers have said that, like, no, it's not because they specifically did it where Infinity War was his own movie and Endgame is his own movie. But from a storytelling narrative perspective, like, it's really one big ass movie. Like, essentially, it's just one big ass, 5 or 6 hour movie. Yeah. It's just essentially that's what it is. So it's hard for me to like, what movie was better? Like, I'm with you though, Raph and Jay. Like I think it's Infinity War. Like Thanos' performance. The fact that Josh Brolin did not even sniff an Oscar performance.
Because oh my god,
what?
Nah, yeah, you're right. You definitely right.
Yeah,
like one of the most layered villains since my man Heath. Like what? Like how did this man not even get an Oscar? Like. At least not even a Golden Globe nomination.
Because they hate
how did this happen?
Superhero movies. Yeah,
they hate this comic book shit. Yeah, they hate this comic book movie shit, man. But somehow Shape of Water is like the greatest thing like that. Like what? Dog, the fact that Get Out did not win Best Picture for Shape of Water. Where a retarded woman, a retarded or mute or deaf woman, whatever the hell she was, falls in love with a fucking ocean monster.
Like, really? That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh, man.
Come on, man. Like, yeah, somehow the Shape of Water is this critical darling, but, Thanos having this theory that half of the world's population is basically eliminated. It's better for the world, but no. Of course not. We can't vote for that. That's kids' games. Kids' games. Yeah. No, but I mean, I'm with you. I think Infinity War is better. I just think it's better. It's a better film, and then Thanos definitely. Well, I want to ask y'all because I like to get different perspectives. We don't have to get into like the whole crux of Endgame. Yeah. Obviously, we've both done reviews on it. How did y'all feel about the movie? It's like the story itself, the whole time travel thing, how everything unfolded. We don't have to just give me the cliff notes.
Okay, so I like the fact that they did time travel, but I hate the fact of it being presented by Ant-Man. If that makes sense. I hated it. And the fact that the only reason that Ant-Man got out of the quantum realm was because a rat Crit walked across the fucking remote for him to get out. Like the fate of the universe depended on a rat. Like that's nuts. That's nuts to me.
Hey man,
I'll just let Johnny have that one. I have nothing.
Well, I think they had to figure. I think they had to figure out a way to make Ant-Man important to the MCU story. So
for real,
they found it. Shit, they figured out a way to make Ant-Man important. But I'm with. That didn't bother me as much. That didn't bother me as much. I guess my question would be for y'all: you just told me what bothered you, but what about you, like Ralph? Like, what bothered you more about it? Because we've all talked about our love for Endgame, but what bothered you?
Yeah, it's definitely a nitpick item with me. It was definitely like, I think they made it painfully obvious that Iron Man was going to, die at some point in the movie. I think we all went in knowing that a major central figure of the MCU would not be with us moving forward. But
did you feel like did you have the feeling the entire time that it was Iron Man? Because I think in first viewing, I knew there was going to be a major character killed. I just didn't know which one. Like I think now going back and watching it again, or just taking myself out of it and looking at the story arc and the things that they said.
Yeah,
I think it's obvious.
I've only seen the movie once, so when I'm watching it, I was just like the little things throughout the movie and after arc. I was like, Iron Man's totally uncomfortable. He's still feeling away. He finally has his daughter 5 years into the future. So he's really like settled into this family life. And now they're pulling him back in. And, Dr. Strange gives Tony Stark the speech, hey, if I tell you it's not going to happen. So I was like, oh, that's obvious.
Right. Damn, you know what? I didn't pick it. Maybe because I was so immersed in the dance.
Oh yeah, it was just little stuff. I was just like, that's obvious as hell. But I was like, okay, so what part? When does he actually die? And then I didn't cry, but I was close, and it was really when the light on his chest flickered. I think that fucked me up emotionally. Yeah. Like I think I was like, oh.
How did y'all? I guess for me, the thing that's bothered me, and I think it's been an overarching thing with the MCU in general over the last few, and it's definitely especially over the last few films, like how much they've just
and devalued.
Thank you. Like that shit has been.
I feel the exact same way.
And honestly, like I get more upset about it. And I'm just saying, like, I haven't listened to
Johnny has went on plenty of rants about the Hulk and the MCU.
But they have completely. But me and Johnny are on the same page because we fuck with that Incredible Hulk movie. Like, and I will fuck. Matter of fact, I'm banging the drum for it right now. That is one of the top 10 Marvel films ever, and it's a crime that film gets shit on. I don't even know why. I don't know why. Like, to me, I had no problem. First of all, Edward Norton is a better actor than Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
It's not even a debate. And I love that movie. Like, I love that movie. I don't know what was the problem with that film. Like, I don't understand, like, why is that, like, the redheaded stepchild? Like, somehow Thor Dark World is considered a better.
I don't know.
Or it's considered.
I don't know.
The Marvel family.
I don't know who said that shit. I guess because it was so early. I guess because it was so early on, they changed. Like it was bad. Like they changed the actor.
But you know what's crazy? The Incredible Hulk came out literally like 2 or 3 months after the first Iron Man. They came out in the same year.
Yes.
Yeah.
What the? Come on, man. Thank you.
And for the longest time, I know this is going to be a major hot take. For the longest time, I thought that movie was better than Iron Man. You can slander me all you want. I thought that movie was just
I would definitely
good,
say just as good. I don't know if I would say better. But definitely just as good, though. Definitely just as good.
Like, I just don't understand it. But going back to the Hulk topic, like, they completely neutered and misused Hulk. The fact that my man is basically, I mean, I still haven't gotten over the fact that he just got his ass whooped by Thanos.
And never came back.
He never came back. Like, never came back. Like, it was just super washed. And then in this one, he's just like, he's basically a fucking kind of
which is nuts.
Think about it. Like, think about that shit. Like, if I would have told you in 2007, right, that we're doing an Avengers film and Hulk is comic relief, you would have said, you would have cursed me out.
Yeah.
You would have said, "Shut the fuck up." Ain't no way they make a Hulk a comic relief character.
Because if you think about that final fight scene in the Incredible Hulk against Abomination, that's one of the best fight scenes in the MCU. Like, yes, for real.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, God.
Look, let me ask you guys this, since we're kind of on the Hulk situation. Like, do you guys even find the 2003 version somewhat entertaining? Or is it just me? Not at all?
That shit was trash. I
don't. That shit. Eric Banner's
crazy. That's crazy because I actually like that old sentimental layered daddy issue shit. Like I love that movie. I don't know what it is. I just watched it.
Nah,
And that's
you
fine.
on your own on that
He was
one.
only the Hulk
You
in
on
that
your own on
movie
that.
for like the last 20 minutes.
That is
He
true.
didn't even turn into the Hulk until the end of the movie.
I know. That is my unpopular opinion. I'm not saying it's better than the 2008. I just enjoyed the 03 version.
Nah.
It's all good.
you marching up that hill with that flag on your own, but yeah. Nah, but yeah, man, I did the review with my homie, and it's just like, and he kind of sees my way of thinking on it. Like, damn, like I'm so upset that they've just completely
Like he's neutered.
Right.
Neutered.
They just neutered him, man. Yeah, just neutered him, dog. Like he's nothing now. He's nothing. He's nothing. Like it boggles my mind, yo. Like I'm not even gonna keep going because it's going to it's just annoying.
Nah,
I just wanted
you
to know if
definitely
I'm
not
the only
alone. My
one
thing is
that
this.
feels
This is
the
my
same.
last point on it, right? In Endgame, so I understand he's Professor Hulk, right? Bruce Banner and the Hulk emerged. Cool. Fine. Right.
Which happened in the comics.
We got the Bruce Banner side of the Hulk in Endgame. We needed the Hulk side. We needed Hulk to battle Thanos. We needed that. And we didn't get it.
Right.
We didn't get it.
Yeah.
That would have been the perfect way to end the Hulk's arc in the MCU. But no.
But really since the first Avengers, where
All of them,
Hulk stole-
definitely.
Like Hulk stole the goddamn movie. Like ever since then, they have just completely shit on Hulk. Like remember in Age of Ultron, they introduced interest with him and Natasha that never went anywhere. I'm like, why did y'all even go here with this if y'all wasn't even gonna pay it off? Like, no man wasn't even gonna get a piece of ass. Nothing. Like nothing. Like we're just gonna set this up to just set it up. Like I don't even understand that one. But they just progressively have gotten worse with him. It wasn't even like, oh, we fucked up with him for a movie, but we got it back. No. They just continuously just fucked him up in the movie. And I enjoyed him in Ragnarok, but yeah, that's not the Hulk that I want to see. I want to see
crazy, man. Crazy.
It's crazy. It's Anything else in because we're going to transition to sports in a second, but anything else in movies, pop culture, music?
I think I'm good.
Let's get to sports, man. I need to. I don't know what the fuck my loss. I don't know what my Los Angeles Lakers is doing, man. I don't know what we're doing.
Let me ask you this: did you make it to the protest the other day? I'm not sure. It was so many people out there.
Yeah, there were tens of people. You know what it was? Like I think it was like the kids of the most expensive season ticket holders and like maybe one of the co-owners kids that all went out for the protest. Like they just happened to be in the office that day and like, oh dad, we're gonna go protest this shit. Like, yeah, okay, whatever, just don't embarrass us. And yeah, they embarrassed everybody. Like they just just embarrassed themselves and the Lakers. Yeah, like, oh man, I just like. I need to get y'all perspective. Like, dude, are the Lakers this much of an embarrassment? Like, I feel like I should be embarrassed with my team.
Yes, because you all pride yourself on the 16 banners and everything like that. So it's like when it comes time to do these grandiose coaching hires and free agency moves and things like that, it has been very lackluster for the past, let's just say 7-8 years. Like it feels like, yeah. It's been bad. It's been bad, and the Lakers are definitely a staple, and they're one of the most polarizing sports franchises ever. So,
well, here's the thing I will say. I still to this day will defend the Luke Walton hire. Mm-hmm. I think Luke Walton was a good hire. I think the problem with Luke Walton, I've said this on any podcast, so this is nothing new. The problem with Luke Walton was that he was a young coach brought in to coach a young team, a rebuilding effort, right? When you go out and you sign LeBron,
it changes.
Luke Walton basically becomes obsolete, and the rebuilding becomes basically obsolete. Now you have a young coach who's still trying to figure out how he can be a better coach. coaching LeBron James. And now the expectation is hey, we're rebuilding, we're building something here. Let's just get into the play. No, now the expectation is championship.
Pretty much.
Like, so that completely changed. Like, I said it at the beginning of the year. Like, if you knew LeBron was going to have an issue with Luke Walton, which the writing was on the wall clearly early, you should have just fired Luke at the beginning of the year. You should have never let Luke Walton even coach this team if that was the case. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you start reading the tea leaves and going through everything that happened. So Luke Walton wanted Julius Randle back on the team. He wanted Brook Lopez back on the team because those were guys that fit his system. And instead of I don't know, doing something genius like putting players in position to succeed in the coaching staff's system. No, we go out and sign Rajon Rondo. We go out and sign Lance Stevenson. Guys that are not great shooters when, guess what? I mean, it's just a multitude of things. Like, it's just the Rob Pelinka hire never made sense to me. Like, you hire Magic Johnson. I understand why you do that. You hire Magic Johnson because he's Magic Johnson. He's an ultimate salesman. He's an ultimate recruiter. I get why he is there. But the smart money would have been hire a basketball nerd, a basketball lifer, a basketball geek that knows how to be a GM to be the fucking GM, to be Magic's right-hand man. No, you hire Kobe.
It never made sense. And
it's not even like he's an agent, so he doesn't know how to be a GM, because the guy who built the Warriors, along with Jerry West, Bob Myers, is a former agent. So it has happened. It does work. But it's just like, the Lakers just it's amazing. Like, every single thing they've done in the last 2.5 years has blown up in the face completely. Like, they haven't had one thing right outside of maybe drafting Kyle Kuzma. Nothing they've done has gone right.
I feel like the worst thing they could have did was get LeBron on the team.
I wasn't even going to go on the LeBron bash because you guys know I'm a proud card carrying member of the LeBron James hater nation, and for the people that are y'all fans that haven't listened to me, let me clarify this. LeBron James is a great man. He does a lot of great things for his community. There's a lot, LeBron James is a guy that I probably would love to hang out with and talk business and talk life and politics. I hate LeBron James, the basketball player. That's who I hate. I hate LeBron James, the locker room politician, the drama queen, the diva. That's the LeBron James that I hate.
Yeah.
I know he's great. I know he's one of the top 5 greatest basketball players that has ever lived.
Agreed.
I will not even shit on that. But I hate fucking LeBron James, the basketball player. I hate that man. Like, I hate him. I feel like everywhere he goes, he brings drama with him. Him and fucking Rich Paul and Maverick Carter trying to run shit. Like, how are you the best player in the NBA and you have one of the biggest agencies in the NBA? Johnny, that doesn't cause a conflict of interest.
Johnny, we talked about this before. I was like, how in the hell do you're how is that even allowed? Exactly. That's what I was like. Hey, like that whole Anthony Davis thing. I was like, whoa, wait, like he's really your client. Like,
But the LeBron James sycophants out there, the apologists will say, "Oh, that has nothing to do. That didn't tear the Lakers apart."
Yeah, it did.
Are you fucking retarded?
Yeah, it did.
Anthony Davis essentially is a LeBron James client.
Yeah.
And what happened? LeBron James is trying to break him to the team that he just so happens to be playing on.
Yeah. And
like, come on, man.
And from a morale standpoint, like those young players like Ball, Kuzma, Ingram, keep hearing their names in trade talks. Like, how can I sit here and focus when I know I might be shipped to New Orleans in 2 weeks or a week or a few days?
Thank you. I thought I was the only one that just felt this way.
Oh no. LeBron fucked the Lakers this year too. So it wasn't just it wasn't just injuries.
If you were doing a pie chart, yes, injuries would take a large sum of that.
Yeah.
Like LeBron getting hurt on Christmas night, Lonzo's injury, those were the 2 biggest injuries of the season.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the little injuries that we suffered and sustained throughout the year.
Yeah.
The injuries definitely killed us. But the number 2 thing, and I would say not even number 2, 1A, is the whole Anthony Davis debacle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the fact that Magic allowed himself to be played by the fucking Pelicans.
Played by the Pelicans.
Like, the Pelicans were sitting there laughing at this nigga. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Magic.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And then the Pelicans fired the GM. After that.
Yes.
God, it was bad.
And then they hired the nigga. Then they hired LeBron's boy to be the. I'm like, come on, you can't make this shit up.
Yeah, you can't.
Hell no.
Oh my god, man.
Right.
Oh,
you okay? You all right? You got
I'm
it?
good.
You all right?
I'm good, man. You know what? I'm not even. So how does this even play out for the Lakers now? Obviously, we know the Ty Lue. We didn't even touch on the Ty Lue.
That's what I was going to get to. I think we need to get to a point where the Butts family starts thinking about selling the team.
Well, here's the thing. Let me cut you off.
Yeah.
Let me cut you off for a second first.
All right.
I actually like that we didn't hire Ty Lue because the optics of that shit was just bad from the start.
Yeah.
First of all, I think, what is Ty Lue? Ty Lue is the coach that LeBron likes.
Yeah.
Like that is Ty Lue's claim to fame.
Yeah.
It's not X's and O's. It's not a defense that he runs. It's not that he's it's just no, I'm LeBron's guy.
But
LeBron likes me. And because LeBron likes me, he lets me yell at him a couple times.
Yeah.
So that makes me a qualified candidate for the job. No, the fuck it doesn't. And this idea that, and then on top of that, you hear the reports that Woj drops out there that, he was mad at the 3-year because they was tying him
with LeBron. Yeah.
Exactly. They were tying him to LeBron. They was like, oh yeah, you LeBron's hire, you LeBron's guy, nigga. You gonna be here with LeBron. As soon as this nigga leave, you gone.
Pretty much.
So he was like, I don't want that. I'm a championship level coach and I need 5 years. Nigga, what? like LeBron going out there, or Ty Lue going out there and saying he's a championship coach is like, I can't even find the analogy, but it's just a fucked up analogy. Like, bro, are you really a championship coach? Like, really? Like, are you really going to count yourself as a championship coach at this point? Like, come on. Like, I could have been coaching that 2016 Cavs team. That was more about the Warriors gagging on themselves than the Cavaliers even winning.
Hey, I'm not totally against that, but hey, if I have a championship on my resume, I can have terms and conditions.
Oh, I get it.
I can have terms and conditions. Like that whole thing was.
I get it.
I think he would have compromised on the 3 years, but Kurt Rambis as my assistant coach, like I can't pick no assistant coaches. That's fucked up. So now that I've already made myself clear on the whole on the Ty Lue shit, like I did not want Ty Lue anywhere near coaching my fucking team. Yeah.
Why the fuck is Linda Rambis involved in any Laker operation? Like why? Why is Linda Rambis even in the motherfucking building?
When your BFF runs the team, it's like that.
I don't give a fuck.
It's all about
buy a ticket, nigga. Like me, buy a ticket.
Talk about it.
It's unfortunate, but shit, it's going to be another year or two before the Lakers make the playoffs again. At least,
dog. But I'm not even upset that Kurt Rambis is even in the discussion. Like, okay, I don't like Kurt Rambis, but it's like, okay, he's actually someone that's coached. He's in the Laker family. He's got some very little, but some credibility.
Mm-hmm.
Linda, his wife?
Association. That's all it is. Association.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut your point off.
Oh, it's all good because I understand your frustration, because if this was my Spurs, I would definitely be like livid. Like the Spurs are at least in playoff contention. That's all I can ask for after the Kawhi thing. That's all I can ask for.
And y'all have competent people running y'all organization.
That's the thing.
R.C. Buford is a genius.
Yeah.
Popovich, top 3, top 4 NBA head coaches ever.
Yes.
Like, y'all have competent people in place. Like, it's amazing to me how these organizations just continue to, like, I feel like NBA organizations are the most poorly ran organizations in sports. Like, I really believe that. Yeah. Like, I really believe that NBA GMs are retarded, like secretly retarded. Like, they're just dumb. Like, the fact that Daryl Morey gave Chris Paul a 4-year, $150 million deal
on the inside of his crime. Okay.
Oh my God, dog. The fact that he's going to make something like $44 million at age 37 at the at the end of this current deal, like, come on. Like if I was an owner, I would fire Daryl Moore as soon as my fucking accountants did the write-up, did my shit at the end of the year, and I'm just reviewing this shit. I'm like, hold on, what?
We paid who? Right, exactly.
Bruh, you paying Chris Paul at 37, 44 mil? Yeah, you fired, bro. Like, nah, hand in your resignation today.
Well, hey, man, I think it just speaks to, like you said, ownership. Like, the Lakers are a family business. We keep giving them passes, but they're not their father. So it's like Dr. Buzz did did everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he elevated the Lakers to even more of a height. Because the Lakers were the Lakers, and then he took them 10 championships in his time frame. Hey, it's 8.
We won 8.
Okay, he did 8. Okay, and then the kids got the last 2, right? Because I think they got 10 in that time frame. I'm just thinking under the bus.
No, all right. Let me. Hold on.
Okay.
So Bus owed the family in the 1980s. That's when he first came, or 1979 exactly. So he won the 5 and the 8, and then he won the 3 with Shaq and Kobe. So that's 8. And then he won the 2. He won the 2 with Kobe and.
That's why I said 10.
Yeah, that's 10. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
No, it's all good. So I'm just like, okay, well, he did that. So we're there. The kids are pretty much riding the coattails of that. They haven't been able to put competent people in since he left. Since he unfortunately passed. So, hey, either you kind of get with it, or hey, there's nothing wrong with selling it. There's nothing wrong with it. But who can buy it? Who can outright buy the Lakers unless it's just
right? It's going to have to be a collective of people.
Yeah, it's gonna take, because see, that's the problem. That's the problem the Knicks have too. Like, that's why James Dolan. Like, no matter how much I want him to sell the Knicks, like, he's not selling the Knicks because there's nobody rich enough to buy the Knicks.
No, right.
The only person that can probably buy the Knicks is Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. And is he trying to get into sports? I
mean, American business owner. Like, I can't speak for somebody,
abroad. Yeah.
Morocco, some island business. I can't speak for that person, but you know what I'm saying? Like, some of a known business person. Like, it would take either a consortium or a conglomerate of like a group of people.
Yeah.
Like, the same thing for the Lakers. Like, who's rich? I mean, the only person that's rich enough to either Bezos or even Ballmer, when he bought the Clippers, he should have bought the Lakers. Like Ballmer is the only person that I would think would have the pockets to buy the Lakers.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not happening. But, yeah. So there's nobody, realistically speaking, there's nobody buying. But I hope that the level of embarrassment that they're going through now, the level of slander that the Lakers, because I still have faith in Jeannie. Like, I like Jeannie. Like, this is my problem with Jeannie, right? I love Jeannie. Jeannie is right doing the business side. Like, that was always her thing, the business side of it.
Yeah.
Jeannie needs to bring in, and that was the plan, I guess, with Magic, was to bring somebody in to do the basketball side. But the problem was you brought the 2 wrong people. Like, you brought Magic in, who didn't know how to be a president. The fact that Magic just basically quit was like, yo,
the funniest thing, yeah. I was right.
Yeah. And then it's like you hire Rob Pelinka as the GM. Rob Pelinka, Kobe's agent. Like, this is this man's claim to fame.
Kobe's agent.
Like, that got Kobe a bag with a torn Achilles. Like, that's his claim to fame.
Pretty much.
And you bring him in as the GM. Like, why? Why is this? Why? Yeah, whatever. And then, not to mention the fact that Jerry West wanted to come back to the Lakers.
Oh, he did?
Pleaded. Wanted to. Nah, we don't need Jerry West.
Oh, wow. See, that the Lakers are setting themselves back a lot.
Oh my God, man!
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's move on, man. Because I don't even.
This is hilarious.
You know what? Let's move on because they don't even deserve this much airtime, honestly. So. And another thing, that bothers me, right, is the fact. The other thing that bothers me is that. Okay, so they dodged the bullet, in my opinion, by not hiring Tyler.
Okay,
right. Who? All right. So let me ask y'all: who do y'all think would be a good candidate to coach the Lakers, regardless of the whole GD bus and the whole Kurt Rambis, all that shit? Who do y'all think is a competent enough head coach to take the job?
Either like a Mark Jackson, maybe, if he's interested. Nothing was wrong with Mike Brown. I think you would agree with that. Nothing was wrong with him.
Now, the coach that I want is Tom Thibodeau.
Tibbs?
Yeah. I feel like people are jaded by Tibbs because of how the Minnesota thing ended, but that's not his fault that Jimmy Butler basically punked the whole franchise.
Pretty much.
Like, that's not his fault.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of his fault because he brought Jimmy Butler in, but you know what I mean. Like, it's not his fault that, you know, Jimmy Butler and a couple niggas off the Chicago block basically came into practice, played Karl Anthony Towns and
Wiggins.
Towns and Wiggins in a 4-on-4 and beat these guys. Like, it's not Thibodeau's fault. It's not Thibodeau's fault.
Right.
So I think people are jaded by that, but like let's not forget that Thibodeau won 60 games plus with the Bulls.
Yeah.
Coach of the year twice. Had like a 600 winning percentage with the Bulls. He wasn't the problem with the Bulls. The fact that Foreman and Paxson still have jobs.
Yes.
Like we talk about Jeannie Buss and how poorly ran the
Bulls.
I mean, the fact that Paxson and Gar Foreman still have jobs is a whole nother problem. But so he wasn't the problem in Chicago. And then when he went to Minnesota, he was just his plate was full.
Yeah, he should have never been the GM too.
He was the president.
You can't.
Like, that never works. Like there's only one nigga that could do that, and that's the legendary Pat Riley. Like he's the only cat that's been able to do that.
Yeah.
Like nobody else is able to really do that in the NBA because it's two different jobs and it's a lot. But Tibbs as just a coach, like if I bring Tibbs in as a coach, like yo, I want you to bring that tough defensive minded style back to the Lakers. Y'all not telling me that he's not a competent?
Oh no, I'll never say he wasn't competent. Like I think I don't know. Like you think those players, the personnel right now, presently constituted, no free agents, no anything. You think Tibbs could, whip them into shape?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I think Tibbs would love coaching Brandon Ingram if he's healthy, if he's right. Yeah. I think Lonzo. I think let's not forget who was the coach. I know everybody brings up, he ran those players into the ground. I'm not. I'm not with all that. Like, who was the coach that developed Derrick Rose? That developed, Joakim into an all-star and the defensive player of the year? Like, Luol Deng, all those. It was Tibbs.
Yeah.
Now he ran him into the ground too, but he developed them.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? You can't have one without the other.
Right.
I just think he would be great for the job, man. I think if you let Tibbs just coach and you bring him in with a staff, you can have an assistant head coach that's great with the offense, and just let him be Tibbs. Like, I think that's a perfect hire. But somehow he's not the hire, but Frank Vogel was the hire.
Frank Vogel. They're reaching into their bag now. This is desperation, and it's a stinking cologne.
Right. Like, if I would, you know what? I wouldn't even be upset if they hire Frank Vogel. I'm gonna tell you the nigga that I'm gonna be upset if they hire Jason Kidd. If these dudes try to finagle this to bring in Jason Kidd,
Mr. Spill my Henny on the coach on the floor, Jason Kidd.
Mr. Beat my wife before playoff.
Oh damn! I wasn't even gonna go there. I was just going on coach. I was just on coach Jason Kidd.
I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. Mr. Run into a tree. In the Hamptons. People forget that, but hey. Mr. Flame Out. Let's not forget. He tried to play Prokhorov in the Nets.
Yeah, he did.
More money. And when they told him like, no, nigga. So he had the bucks in the bag because he knew the owner. And then this is the worst part. He was cool with the owner. And even the owners got him up out of there.
Yeah.
With Milwaukee. Because he wasn't doing a great job.
Yeah, and look at him now.
And dog, Giannis didn't even like him.
Look at him now. Like, they're flourishing now.
And everybody, and the one thing everybody says about Giannis is like a nice kid, polite, just like you could, it's not possible for Giannis not to like you. When Giannis doesn't even fuck with you?
Yeah, but
this is your head coaching candidate?
Yeah.
Come on, son.
So,
no, I ain't rocking with
you. Kid hasn't done anything to prove himself to be a coach to me. Like, he's just been there.
Didn't he become a coach the year after he retired, or like the season?
Yeah. It was literally like right after he retired.
Yeah. He at least waited a year. Derek Fisher was just like the nigga retired in June.
I feel like he retired and they like just slid him down the bench. Like it's literally like
exactly. It's basically what happened.
Crazy.
Basically what happened. But man, Jason Kidd, dog. That's the one hire that I just don't want. Like, don't bring this dude. At least Frank Vogel's a competent, semi-competent head coach. Yeah. Like really, Frank Vogel had success in India.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I'm saying? He developed Paul George, or at least helped develop Paul George. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he made Roy Hibbert into an NBA.
Roy Hibbert.
Like, let's not forget, like Roy Hibbert was actually a competent NBA player.
Frank Vogel was borderline all-star, right? Like he was like third team All NBA or some shit. I think.
Exactly. So crazy. Like, yeah. But let's move on. The Lakers don't deserve this much. I want y'all, because I'm here for all the Houston slander.
Oh.
So I'm ready for it.
Those guys. Then Chris Paul re-upped after last year and was like, oh, let's finish it, and got finished in 6. Healthy Chris Paul.
But have y'all been on? Y'all been on Bleacher Report today? All the stories coming out about.
No, I haven't.
So report came out this morning or whatever that yesterday Curry was trying to have a hour shoot around before the game. Mm-hmm. And that when Chris Paul wasn't even in the arena. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, but basically Steph Curry was trying to have an hour to himself at the Toyota Center to do an hour shoot around before the game. And when Chris Paul found out about it, drove to the arena and basically kicked him out of the arena. It was like, no, you can't. Nah, we're not having the court. Like, nah. And even when Steph Curry tried to be like, all right, whatever, man, just, we could share the court, half court, you know what I mean? Chris Paul was like, no. That's why when if you go on Bleacher Report and you watch the video of, after we get done or whatever, you watch the video of Steph Curry coming back in the locker room, everybody giving him a standing ovation. He's like, kick me off the court, huh? That's what we going to do? We going to kick me off the court? I'm like, Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
The Chris Paul doesn't have that right, because if I recall correctly, last year he had the opportunity to play in the game. It was a game 7, right, for them to win, and he decided to sit on the bench.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how valid that is. I never like to criticize folks that are injured. Like that's one of my things when I cover sports. Like if a guy's injured, I'm gonna take him at face value that he's injured.
Yeah.
I don't know. Could it have been?
I think he was, because now I could be mistaken, but he dressed for the game.
He dressed. There was talks that he could have. It was rumblings that he probably could have. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not there in that locker room. Could he have played? Could he have not played? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that, because then that just sounds bad. Like, oh, this nigga, his damn hamstring was completely severed.
Yeah.
I'm like, play.
Right.
But but I mean, hey, this is my problem with the Rockets, and this is the thing with the Rockets, man. The Rockets. I just think James Harden doesn't have that. He just doesn't have it. He just doesn't. Yeah. He does not have it. And this is a polarizing topic, because I know people that completely think I'm wrong with this. Like, they just think you don't know basketball. I'm like, yo, if James Harden, like, I thought they lost this series Wednesday night.
Okay.
That's when I thought they lost the series. Mm-hmm. Like, y'all remember when KD went hurt? Everybody thought it was an Achilles.
Yeah.
Even the fans in the arena thought it was like a bad injury. Like, this doesn't look right. Right? You just had flashbacks to
right.
Like, you could tell the Warriors visibly weren't right for about a good 5-6 minutes, right? They just weren't right.
Yeah.
If I'm James Harden, I'm a shark smelling blood and water. Like, give me the rock. Like, I'm taking us home. I don't give a fuck. Mike, fuck all that bullshit. Give me the rock. This is
I got you. Right. Pass the ball. Pass the ball to Will.
Single possession. I'm either driving to the basket, getting to the line, right?
Yeah.
Or I'm stepping back and hitting my three, or I'm creating another shot for PJ in the corner, or I'm creating a shot for Eric in the. He didn't do any of that. The fact that this man in the fourth quarter only took 3 shots in the entire fourth quarter. The fact that Eric Gordon became the primary ball handler for a lot of the possessions in that game. And y'all still trying to tell me that James Harden doesn't shy away from big moments?
Oh, he's been doing it since the Thunder lost, that short season. So if that wasn't an indictment then, it should have been. It's definitely an indictment now. Like, you know what I'm saying? He always shrinks in those small moments. So it's like, yeah, he's cool for the regular season. He'll Euro step to 50 points a game, and that's cool. I somewhat enjoy his game. And I think he's going to age well with this game. Like, I don't think his game's going to fall off anytime soon. But do I think he's dependable in those moments? No, not at all.
No. And I hate when everybody, look at the stats. Look at what he did. Da, 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 da. You guys all know that there's more to
right. You got to actually win.
Ask Westbrook.
It's those intangibles.
Ask Westbrook.
It's those intangibles. It's those things that you don't put in the stat sheet.
Yes. It's like, hey, man, ask Westbrook. Like, all that stat piling is cool, but does it actually win games? Not necessarily.
No. And all I'm saying is James Harden, that was his moment. That was his legacy game.
Yeah.
Right there. That's an intangible. That's not a stats. Because, if you look at the stats, he had like 33 points. Like, no, but I'm talking about the intangible.
Yeah.
That moment right there, Jordan would have found his way to take his team home. Kobe would have found a way to take his team home. Larry Bird would have found a way to take his team home.
No, you don't have to, because don't.
Dog, honestly,
LeBron would have found it.
Even LeBron would have figured it out.
He would have. Like, I at least give LeBron that. He hasn't been the killer his whole career, but God damn, James, like, what do you want? Like, it's right, like, literally, like right there for the taking. You chose that. I mean, I don't get it.
And I said it as soon as the final buzzer went off on Game 5. I said it. They lost that series. They lost it because you will never get another opportunity like that. And what they did was they gave the Warriors life. They gave the Warriors belief, because the Warriors was like, yo, we pulled this shit out without KD, bruh.
Nah.
Then you gave them 48 hours.
Now they're looking like the
48 hours to game plan, 48 hours to figure out, okay, we're going to play these guys, and if we get this much out of these guys, and we just let Steph and Clay close it.
And that's even worse.
Now they're looking like the Warriors. Now they're looking like the Warriors of the old.
Right,
yeah.
And that's even worse because Steph didn't have no points in the first half in Game 6.
Steph was trash.
You basically had no KD and no Steph Curry.
Come on. Like, for real. Come on.
Steph went, what was it, 23? Was it 23 in the fourth?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
God. That was insane. Like, that was crazy.
It's just certain players and certain teams that just for whatever reason just don't have that. They just don't have it.
And
they don't have it. And that's the thing that people miss out on. Like, it takes more. Like, people just are so fixated with stats. Oh, he scored 39 points and 10 assists and 14 rebounds. But there's an intangible to winning. There's a certain element to winning that just goes beyond stats.
So is he?
Yeah.
The things that don't get measured.
Is James Harden the new Charles Barkley?
No, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. Because Charles never shied away from big moments. Charles was just
very unfortunate.
And he played in an era where the greatest basketball
you're right.
Arguably,
you're definitely right.
Played but Charles Barkley didn't shy away from it.
And,
you know what I'm saying? And even then, Charles Barkley never had the season that James Harden had this year statistically. Charles Barkley wasn't mentioned. Charles Barkley is going to go down as one of the great scorers in the NBA history, and blah 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 blah. Like, when James Harden goes out there and wins an MVP and does the offensive exploits that he does this year, and there was an article this year, right? That analytically speaking, right? Because the NBA now is the new analytic. They follow suit with baseball now. Driven, right? Analytically speaking, James Harden is better than Kobe Bryant.
And
see,
And I never been the biggest Kobe guy, but whoever wrote that is fucking high. I don't care what kind of analytics you can put forward. I can never say that James Harden.
And see, and that
Kobe.
tells you analytics ain't shit. Stats ain't shit for real. If you're not winning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's mind boggling, man. And you know what? Houston, and I said it last year, I thought Houston missed their window. I thought they had, and I go back to last year with this. James Harden, right? The MVP of the NBA last year, without question, right? You have the Warriors down 17 points at halftime. At home, you have the defending champs down 3-2, down by 17 points, and you can't close? That's bad enough. That's bad enough. But then 2 nights later, you have the same defending champ. And anybody who saw Game 7 last year knows the Rockets they ran the Warriors out the building in that first half. They should have been up. I mean, they should have been up by 30, truth be told. You got a 15-point lead in Game 7, MVP on the court, and you can't close that game out? Come on, man. Don't tell me nothing about James Harden. Don't tell me nothing about James Harden, bro. I'm done with James Harden, bro. I'm done with James Harden. James Harden can go out there and score 75, have a 75-point triple-double. He can have a 75-point, 20 assists, 25 rebound game. I don't give a fuck.
Don't matter.
I don't care. I don't care. I will change the channel. He could score 100 points. He can have a 100-point triple-double. I will change the channel.
He can get a quadruple-double.
I don't care.
With steals.
I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that shit.
It don't matter.
It don't matter. I'm done.
Crazy.
I'm done. He's just a choke artist, man. He's a choke artist.
What he is. And I thought that this was his signature series. He had the bloody eye out there looking like Kano from Mortal Kombat and shit. I thought it was lit. Like, I was like, yes.
What? Like, when is it ever going to be a better chance for him to win?
No time better than the present. And he had it right now. Right now. This is the time.
This was your moment. This was your legacy defining moment. And you crumbled. And yes, I know he had a great Game 6 statistically, but again, that's the caveat that all James Harden, because I think James Harden fans are starting to be just as bad as LeBron and Russell Westbrook fans. Oh, he had 35 points. Okay, I don't care.
What's saying the show say what he average though, Skip? What he average though?
Yeah, exactly. Like when the moment was there for him, he didn't
exactly.
He didn't grab it.
Yep.
So I'm done with the Rockets, man. And what do y'all think? Like this?
It's shut.
Like
it's shut.
What can they even do? That's another thing. They got like $100 million tied into that starting five, so they're capped out. They're $14 million in the hole, I think. So they don't even.
So they basically stuck with this team unless they can trade.
And nobody's gonna trade for nobody.
Yeah, nobody's taking on Chris Paul. Nobody's taking on Chris Paul now at this point. That contract is an albatross. Yeah. Nobody's taking that on. Nobody's taking on Clint Capella. Clint Capella, like, I want to know who his agent is.
He might be Clutch Sports. I don't know. But he got a Tristan Thompson deal.
Yes, Clint Capella.
He's better than Tristan. I was just Tristan Thompson.
I would say that. But even Clint Capella, like, he's a nice big, but he's not game changing. But they can't. I mean, unless you find. I mean, somebody might take Clint Capella off your hands. Somebody might take Clint Capella, but that'll be a bad contract for a bad contract deal.
Like, that's the thing.
But see, that's the thing. That'll be a bad contract for a bad contract trade. Like, we'll give you Clint Capella, but we'll take back,
That's what I was about to say, Kevin Love.
We'll give you Clint Capella.
That made sense.
Yeah. That's the only other. I mean, I know nobody's talked about this yet, but what if? What if somehow this shit with LeBron James? Because I think the Lakers should trade. It goes back to the Lakers. I don't mean to go back to the Lakers, but what if the Lakers decided to trade LeBron?
They should. I really think they should. The Lakers do not need LeBron. LeBron went to the Lakers to get his whole studio shit off, to get his shows and shit off the ground. That's why LeBron went to LA.
And because his family's there and he wants quality of life. I mean, I don't begrudge anybody for wanting to go to LA from Cleveland to LA to live. I mean, it's
a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer, but I get it. But what if? I mean, somehow the Lakers could pull off a deal to the Rockets. I don't know what that trade would look like. I don't know what would be given up. I don't even know if it's even possible of happening. That's the only way I see. That's the only move that I see the Rockets can make that would instantly
Yeah,
improve
but
that team.
only from a starter standpoint. What would your reserves look like? Horrible.
Yeah. Horrible. I mean, they have no other moves. They have no other moves to make because they're capped out. That's how bad that Chris Paul deal was last year, last summer. And I don't think that goes talked about. And I don't think that deal got talked about.
It didn't, because it was the summer of LeBron. You know, all those other things just kind of went, unnoticed.
But there's no other move that they can make that, like, unless you're trading for LeBron. And again, I don't even, and this is just a hypothetical, I don't even know what that trade would look like. I would assume
it had to be a 3-team trade.
It would have to be a 3-team trade, and I would assume, you would have to part ways with Capella and
Eric Gordon has to go, and that's not an indictment on him.
Yeah, just to make the money even work. Yeah, just to make the money even work, you would have to part with Eric Gordon and Capella at least, and some picks, future picks. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what the next move is for that franchise, because I don't know what the next play is.
Yeah. They're in the end game now.
And Stefanos snapped his fucking fingers.
Hell no, that's funny.
Before I let you go, man, any predictions on the 2 games tomorrow?
Yeah, I think Toronto and Denver.
Wait, who's playing?
Toronto's playing Philly, and you have I can't even get it out. Denver and Portland.
Denver and Portland. So Denver and Portland is Game 7 tomorrow at 3:30, and then the night game is
Toronto. I'm pulling for the Trailblazers because I fuck with Damian Lillard, so I'm gonna pull for them. Even though I don't think they're gonna win, but I'm gonna pull for them. And then I think I'm going Toronto.
Yeah, I like Toronto.
I have a funny. It's weird. I think Toronto should win. I think Toronto, like I said at the beginning of the series, Philly has more talent, but Toronto's the better team.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that.
If that makes sense. I don't trust Philly. I don't trust Joel Embiid. I don't trust
at all.
I don't trust Ben Simmons at all. And the fact that he's gotten away with being fucking ass cheeks for 2 straight postseasons is ridiculous to me. But I have a funny. Something tells me Philly might win.
And you're not wrong in that prediction. Hey, Philly can definitely win tomorrow. They're so inconsistent. Yeah, it's hard to say. Yeah,
they're so erratic. You watch them play, and it's like, damn, why? Like Philly should be where the Bucks are. Like, but they're just so erratic. So just you never know what you're getting. And Embiid, tomorrow he might come on tonight into tomorrow's game, and he might have to call out. Like, so yeah. Who knows? I will say this. I think Toronto's going to win, but I would not be surprised if Philly finds it. I don't know. I have a funny feeling Philly's is going to win this game, but I'm going to still go with Toronto. I think Kawhi Leonard is the difference. They just literally have nobody that can fight that man one-on-one. And if this game was in Philly, it's Philly all the way. But Toronto, the home crowd. I even think call me crazy, but I even think Kyle Lowry.
Where has he been?
Talk about another dead end contract.
Yeah, that nobody will pick up. Oh well.
Oh my god. And then Denver and Portland. Hey, I got Portland.
I'm not mad at that.
Winning in Game 7. Just because of Denver's youth, I still don't trust Denver in a big spot. I know they beat your Spurs in games in a game that set basketball back.
I think they overachieved this year, and it's fair to say that.
They did, but still, oh my god, that game was a fucking ice.
Yeah, it was.
Like, Jesus. But yeah, I think Portland. I think Portland pulls it out. It's a pick'em game because I can see either team winning, but I don't know. Portland's gonna figure. I think Dame Lillard's gonna go crazy tomorrow after that. Yeah. So, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
This was great. Man. Thanks for having us.
But before we go ahead and plug the social media, plug where you can find the shows, episodes y'all got coming up. Everything, man. Go ahead and tell yourselves.
Well, I can make it simple, Johnny. We can just do If you want to find out anything about Oversaturated the podcast, follow us at oversaturatedthepod.com. I'm sorry, oversatthepod.com. That is our website for the podcast. Anything for our socials, episodes, bios on me and Johnny is right there. Oversatthepod.com.
Yeah, man. Check us out. We have the audio, hopefully the video of our live show coming out this week coming up. So be on the lookout for that too. It'll be on the website.
Yeah. And then also, you want to follow us individually, you know, we be going back and forth with Manny online, but I'm the Mind of Rap on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter, I'm JON2_, the letter B. And on Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU.
Word, man. And I just want to say to you too, man, not just thank you, but keep it up, man. Y'all inspire me. Y'all inspire me to keep going and to keep doing this podcast shit and to get better and better each and every episode, each and every day, each and every week. So, real talk, man. Y'all are the shit. And keep it up, man. Y'all inspire me.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Oh, we definitely got to do this. Definitely, we got to do this again.
Hey, man, let's talk after Spider-Man: Far From Home. Let's see how that
thanks.
Let's just see how that go.
Hey, y'all just give me a date and a time, bro.
Oh, no,
hey, I'm with it.
We're gonna make that happen for real. We're gonna make that happen.
Yeah, I'm saying.
For real, let's make it happen, man. We can do it on my show.
It doesn't matter. Let's just make that happen. We'll figure it out.
Cool.
No doubt, man. Thank y'all.
No problem.
Show, man. I really appreciate it.
All right, welcome back to the show. My thanks again to Raphael and Johnny for joining me this week on the podcast. Please make sure you go listen and subscribe to their podcast. Oversaturated Podcast is available anywhere where you can find podcasts on the internet. So Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, SoundCloud, they're available everywhere. Also, make sure you check out their website, oversatthepod.com, for more details and information on episodes and specials and Patreon pages and all that good stuff, man. Go check it out. Those guys put out a great podcast each and every week. I hope you guys got a glimpse of that today. So go check those guys out, man. For real, they're some good dudes and some hardworking dudes, and always a great listen. So I hope you guys got that in today's episode. That's it for me today. I apologize for some of the audio issues. I may sound muzzled in some areas or just low in some areas. We just really had some bad audio problems on my end of things. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Sometimes it's the nature of the beast when you're doing podcasts and when you're doing technology. Sometimes audio is not going to cooperate. So it's just one of those things. So hopefully you guys can bear through it and enjoy the show. I really appreciate you guys supporting the podcast each and every week. And without you guys, there is no podcast. I say that every week. I'll never stop saying that. Thank you so much for supporting the show. As always, you can follow this podcast on Twitter at AGS Pod, on Instagram at AGS Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter at TheManuelBrown, on Instagram at Manuel Brown, Facebook Manuel Brown. Follow us on Facebook at Any Given Sunday. Of course, become a member of AGS Nation. Yeah, man, that's it. That's it for real. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Please enjoy y'all days. Be safe, be happy, be blessed. Thank you guys for being the wonderful people that you guys are, the wonderful spirits in our lives. Thank you so much. And a special shout out and a special Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers in my family. You guys know how special you guys are to me, and I love y'all. So hopefully y'all are enjoying y'all day. But I'll stop yapping because I'll probably have trouble hearing me, or hopefully by this point it's gotten better. I don't know. But thank you so much for you guys listening and subscribing to the show. And we'll be back next week with another episode of the podcast. Peace. Serious, sir.